BaD and Def, formerly known as Team Jedi Riot. You might recognize some of those names. And Basement State University on the right side there. I don't know if you cast them or not, but they were at that tournament as well.
Yeah, I remember BaD and Def. I think we cast them either last week or the week before that. And then I also, let's see, who do I know on the other team?
I don't know. I don't know if you cast them. Death of the Party, Life of the Funeral. Those you'd probably remember.
Yeah, I remember Death of the Party. I guess I remember Life of the Funeral too.
They had
remember one of them.
Good games against Tower Overwhelming at the tournament.
Okay, yeah, that's where I remember. Oh yeah, and I remember Atomic Whale too. So, okay, let me make sure I know exactly where I'm supposed to be here. Dude, Grubby made it to rank 1 on all 3 servers.
Really?
That's impressive.
That is.
Yeah. I had no idea. I thought he was kind of washed up now, but apparently he's still pretty good. Okay. Throwing out.
Yeah, go ahead. Tweets. That's not actually that big of a thing here in Utah.
Really?
Yeah. It's that rather. Facebook's huge, though. Obviously. But Twitter hasn't caught on quite yet.
Utah, LOL, battles. Alright. This is week 5?
This is week 5. Yes.
BaD and Def and who's the other team?
Basement State University.
Alright, and it's XZubu X?
Yep, I changed it.
Wait, you changed it to that?
Yep,
or?
I changed it to that. It was my name.
Twitch.tv/XZubu.
Oh, you want that? That's what you want. Hold on.
Oh, I just typed it out.
I'm not on Twitch.
Oh, you're not?
Nope, I'm on OWN.
Okay, well, if you could just give me the link, that would be awesome.
Done. No, I thought you were talking about my Twitter.
Oh.
Change that.
Oh, wait, so it's not beating accordingly?
Nope.
What is it?
Oh, shoot.
It's just XZubu X?
Yes. Alright. We are... I'm not sure what they're doing. Everyone shows everyone in lobby.
Mm-hmm.
I actually played a game. Oh, there we go. We're in. Shows none of them connected. Apparently the client is having some issues tonight, so hopefully we can get through them and into the game. Played a game a little bit ago. Game works fine. Just having problems with the getting it started. So the first ban tonight for BaD and Def will be Skarner. Second ban on behalf of BSU is Lee Sin. I have not seen a lot of these teams play this year. I've only seen their results of what's gone on. So I'm not sure who they're or what their strategies are as far as it goes. I know BaD and Def has had some roster changes compared to last season, so they do have a little bit of a switched up roles than what I was used to. But Cassiopeia and Rumble coming out as the next two bans for both teams. Rumble is a ban against the top lane of BaD and Def. I know that Licensed Phone Star plays him pretty well, but they usually switch roles around when one of their main champs gets banned, so we'll see how they pick here. I'm BSU is by far their best player. He's in the 2000s, I believe, in ranked solo elo. And then Ari coming out as a ban, Shen as the final ban, and we'll get our first pick here from, I do not know how to say that name.
It's Hashishin.
Hashishin.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's playoff Hashinshin, player for Fortnite Ice, but it's similar. So Hashishin grabbing Graves as the first pick. Usually you see, ooh, I'm getting a little feedback. There we go. Usually you see like a Janna pickup. Janna has not been picked or banned, so that's pretty much always the first pick because A, it's a support, so it doesn't give away your strategy, and B, it's just really, really good no matter who you get for your team comp. So kind of surprising to see a Graves be first pick. Haven't seen that in a while, but I guess they just really, really want that for their team.
Yeah, for sure. They must have confidence that Janna won't be picked by BSU. It would be my only guess as to why they wouldn't do that. She did get, I believe it was a minor buff to her Whirlwind, just knocking them in the air higher if it's active for a little bit longer.
So essentially you can think about that as like increased duration on your suppress. That's essentially what knockups are. Knockups are suppression, except that knockups can't be cleansed by Quicksilver Sash, so knockups are probably, like, everybody's like, oh my goodness, suppression's so good, but knockups are the most undeniable form of CC, so that's a really, really huge buff. Plus, they just buffed her Monsoon cost. They nerfed the push range. I think they took it like 250 off of, or 150 off of the range that it does knock you back, which is pretty major, but they did nerf or lower the mana costs too, so it's still a really good pickup. And actually, as far as the choices here are concerned, we do have an Alistar, could be jungle, could be support, coming out for BaD and Def. Now, BSU went ahead and picked their AD carry after they already saw BaD and Def's AD carry, and their choice was Corki. And I really like that choice because Corki pretty much does everything that Graves does, but at longer range. And the true damage passive just makes it kind of essentially counters the extra defensive stats from Graves because it just gets you that little bit of extra damage that you're losing to the defenses through his armor based on, you know, the true damage. And actually there you see the Janna pickup actually for Basin State University. So that could be because they're going to be running Death of the Party in the jungle as Warwick. It could also be just because they want to run a different move speed jungler because Warwick can, of course, go top lane. So really awesome idea for them to go with, you know, a move speed jungler. Although Warwick isn't your traditional move speed jungler just because he does have a blink strikes on his ults. So he doesn't need that quite as much as junglers like Udyr or I guess Trundle's also one, but you don't see a whole lot of Trundles out there these days.
Right, and so far Basement State is actually picking the champs they will actually play, so not a lot of swaps will come out on their side. I know Death of the Party is their jungler, so that Warwick will stay. Captain Dunk is their AD, So he'll stay on Corky, and Atomic Quill is their support. Life of the Funeral usually plays their top AD, which I think right now is probably one of the best last picks to get that top lane. I think there's just so much counter that can go on as far as that goes in that upper lane. But Morgana coming out there on the last pick. The BSU plays one of the best Morganas I've seen, so he will be difficult to trade with going against Brand in mid lane, and looks like Pantheon will be going top, and we'll see who BSU picks to essentially counterpick that. Pantheon seeming really strong as of late. I don't know if it's the games I've been playing or what it is, but he just seems to be a strong top lane right now as far as things are going.
Yeah, especially versus things like you see a lot of Jaxes, and actually there's the pick. You called it. How are they going to counter Pantheon? They're just going to go with Malphite. There's a lot of, you can stack either AP for a lot more damage or armor just because of the way Brutal Strikes works. But he's going to be able to stack armor to get through Pantheon. Pantheon goes a lot of armor pen from things like Brutalizer and Last Whispers, so probably not the most effective counter, but it's also going to be less reliant on auto attacks for harassment, so the shield blocking mechanism from Pantheon isn't going to be that effective against somebody like Kennen, who would, who Pantheons would be able to block his auto attacks. Actually, something pretty significant here is that you see a last pick Morgana for BaD and Def. I don't know how many games I've seen Morgana make it all the way through the pick and ban process without getting chosen, but a really strong AP mid. Has been strong for a while. I don't think she's ever, she received a couple of nerfs and then they fixed her auto attack animation, and all of a sudden she was really good. Because that's where a lot of good Morganas get their damage from, is their auto attacks and just trying to force little minor trades where you're either forced to take a Dark Binding or an auto attack, and just really strong champion right now. The AP mid, like you said, for Basin State University is going to be Brand, and I think Morgana works really well against Brand, able to spell shield any part of Brand's combo. Is just really breaks the whole thing. So I think Morgana is going to come out really big this time around.
I think you're right, and I'm the BSU. His Morgana is really strong. That's one person that I think I would ban if I was going against BaD and Def for sure, is that Morgana. And then we will see a Nautilus here in the jungle. A little bit slower of a jungler, but with all that crowd control that he brings to the table, he can really help out lanes quite a bit.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I just noticed is that every single member of Basin State University has some form of initiate CC, whether it's Warwick's suppression from his ult, or Janna's knockup, or Brand's stun, or the knockup from the ult from Malphite. Every single one of those can be black shielded. So essentially, if Morgana kind of leads the charge with either a Dark Binding or just her general presence and spell shields any form of initiation, that's just an entire character taken out of the running as far as CC is concerned. So it's really significant to have that against such a CC heavy team. So
true. Yeah, they do have a lot of CC there, and I think it goes both ways almost. Both teams, if you look at BaD and Def, I mean, Pantheon has a stun, Nautilus all of his stunning and blocks and slows, and then you have Alistar, obviously the headbutt pulverize, and Morgana's binding. So you might see quite a bit of stuns and crowd control stuff going off here. I would definitely invest in tenacity boots here on this match for both sides.
Oh, definitely. There's going to be, and that's something you can kind of see as a trade-off. Usually you'll trade a really hardcore damage nuke for a CC, just because there's a lot more utility and damage are kind of the two things that trade. But both teams right now are just going for a lot of crowd control. So that's something that's going to be really effective, or really big as the game goes on. it does look like we're going to see a support Alistar instead of a jungle Alistar, and that's going to be essential as far as the bottom lane is concerned, just because Alistar is really like an aggressive support. Sure, you can play him like really passively with all the heals, but it's really not what you want to do as far as having Alistar down there. He wants to be aggressive, wants the QW, and that combines really well with the burst from Graves. And with somebody as Corki relies a lot on his flash, on his Valkyrie to escape things like that. But when you're knocked up, you're not really going to be able to do a whole lot. Especially if you do have a jungle gank from Nautilus, who also has a knockup. So
it looks like I'm getting some messages. The other team did lag out, so we are going to have to recreate the game. So once we're in, we'll have to get out of the game. And they'll just blind pick. So I am getting a completely white screen right now.
Well, I actually haven't loaded into the game at all, and that could actually be because nobody is actually in the game. Let's see. Is it going to work? I don't know.
I am in the loading screen.
Oh, so am I. There we go.
But I am going to get out as soon as I'm in. So, that obviously being a problem with the patch today. But I couldn't imagine what it would have been like had they released it on time if it's having issues today.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I actually have been AFK IRL all day today, and then I come back and it's like, that's a little bit bad. So I'm glad I missed it out as far as playing was concerned, but for the people that do still have to play, I know I've seen a lot of losses forgiven on some of my friends' lists, so at least it didn't hurt them too badly. I am summoning right now, but it doesn't look like I'm actually loading into the game.
Yeah, I got it.
So actually, if I'm correct, I can just hit Alt F4, get out. It's gonna pop up and ask me if I want to rejoin. I'll just click quit, and now I'm out.
Yep,
so then I'm going to accept the friend request and game invites. Do I have a game invite?
No,
I
you
don't.
shouldn't yet, because I don't think they've been able to get out. We're both out. Shows them in game. So I'm not sure what is happening. I think they're getting out right now. Still trying to connect them to the game. Someone's got to still be in it, right? If it won't let them, keep making them reconnect.
Apparently there were people that were saying that my mic quality is like extremely staticky.
Oh, really? On my stream?
It's a little bit whack, but it's not horrible.
Let's see what. Let's see here. Mic's up. Speakers are up. Not sure what it is.
Okay, well apparently it's getting better, so
It's taking some time.
I will try to stay close to my mic and not troll everybody too hard.
Okay, so Death of the Party is out of game, which is interesting because it won't let others out of the game. We are just lucky. Every week there's something new, right?
Man, I tell ya, League of Legends never gets old, that's for sure.
They're always mixing it up. I have yet to see the new champion in action. I loaded him up into
he's actually
custom, but didn't do much with him.
He's actually pretty interesting. He has a lot of really interesting CC, the most prevalent being that you can steer with your fear.
Yeah.
Like depending on your positioning. In fact, what I saw somebody do today is you dash in with your ult, initiate the fear, and then flash over the person to turn them around into like your own turret or something like that. That's been like some crazy initiates, but it's pretty good. Although usually you don't see too many flashes on the jungler. It's usually just Ghost for Hecarim because it does stack with his passive. Although the passive damage that you get from extra move speed really isn't that significant. I mean, it's helpful, so you see a lot of like Trinity forces, but it's not all that. Plus, unless you go AP, Q really doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It's supposed to be like an AoE jungling skill that works really well with your AoE heal, but it's not really that great.
Yeah. I heard some people talking he might be tournament quality, but I don't really think so yet. But I don't know. I haven't even watched. I've had finals all day and stuff, so I haven't even watched any of the pro streams to see how they're doing with him at all.
Yeah, I was watching Odd One jungle him, and then I think I saw Crumbs do him once. But yeah, Odd One was complaining about the Q, but said that he has a lot of really interesting mechanics that are just going to take some time to figure out how he synergizes. Am I going to get an invite here? There we go.
Yep, you should be getting. There you go.
Sweet.
Yeah, I can't imagine what would have happened had they released that patch on time. They might have been without a game for a week and a half.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of problems from anywhere from keeping people keeping your opposing team from surrendering to.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting one. There was quite a few. I think they listed them somewhere on the forums or something. I think I read.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they took their time and got everything down. Hopefully the server lag will get fixed, and we'll be able to have a game.
Yeah. It looks like, from what I'm seeing from all my from my friends list, all the other games seem to start without a problem. So we're one of the only. Of course, we're the only ones that had the issues, but but we will have blind picks, so that'll make it a lot quicker. The teams know who they're picking, everything like that. Let's see how we're doing here in Utah chat. Quite a bit of chatter going on. We don't really have a chat set up where everybody can just go in and chat about all the games, like a IRC or anything like that. We're still working on that. It's been a busy week for most of us here, but we'll get it going here in a couple weeks so that we don't have to go into the game to chat. We can go to a different room. Counter time. Just missing one player, Captain Dunk. There we go.
I'm actually surprised we aren't seeing Sloth Fetish play tonight. He was like really good the last time I saw him play.
Sloth Fetish?
Yeah, he's a player for BSU.
I am not. Oh,
or at least he used to be.
Never heard of the name, actually. Are you sure it was this?
I think I remember him.
Are you sure it was Utah LOL? You have a lot of.
Let me check their roster. Yeah, he's on their roster.
Really?
Yeah, I think it might have just been a while.
Let's see here. Oh no, that's not a good sign. Music just stopped.
Nobody. It does that sometimes.
Oh, okay. Never mind. The music just stopped.
I don't think it's horrible. Hecarim. Be pretty interesting. I haven't actually seen him in like tournaments, but it'll be interesting to see like this weekend. There's a lot of tournaments going on, so
I don't know.
We'll get a chance.
Maybe. There's just so many junglers now. I was surprised that he was a. But you can honestly, You can jungle with last week. Every week, as everybody knows, we have an admin game, and it's just an all random, just a normal game, not mid or anything like that. So everybody gets a random character, and I'm the bestio jungled with Corky. And
whoa!
We didn't have a jungler, so he just volunteered to jungle with Corky. It was pretty funny. The ganks weren't too bad, and it seemed to work. We won, so it was very interesting. We've seen a few of those. I can't remember what other ones we've seen in the past, but I mean, you've seen Saint Vicious jungle with Viger, but those players are of a different skill level, obviously.
Dude, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. You get random matchups like that. Once in a while, somebody will get a champion that they're good with, but when there's 94 different champs, your odds aren't very good. Well, depending on how many you own, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty close to all of them. Just have like 4 or 5 6300s left to go. Now they just added another one.
Yeah. I do have all of them, but some of them I am extremely bad with. Like Victor.
Yeah, I've at least played all of them. If Victor takes a lot of work.
Victor, I cannot play. Oh, they got, look at this, Varion is on the champ select page. I don't know if you noticed that. Right next to Vayne. Isn't that his name?
I thought it was like,
I thought it starts with a V, I know that.
Yeah.
Baron? Not sure what it is. That's interesting that his portrait's in here already. So it looks like 8 seconds is all we have until this game is actually up and going. Players are already in game. We are about to be spectating the game, and there's the loading screen. So hopefully you are not behind this time.
That would be hilarious. Oh man, it's so awesome when that happens. But here we go. Hopefully I won't crash out or anything too bad will happen to my client.
Watching loading bars. Everybody's got decent ping, so we should be good to go. So right now, let's see, the blue team will be BaD and BSU, and the purple team will be Basement State University, with jungle for BSU being Warwick, and the jungle for BaD and BSU, Nautilus. In mid lane we will have Morgana going against Brand, and top lane will be the Malphite Pantheon battle. And bottom lane we'll see Janna, Corky, Verse, Graves, and Alistair.
Alright, so I just now got into the game. Everything looks like it is starting. So I'm at 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yep.
Does that sync up with you?
We are the same.
Awesome.
Woohoo!
Nice. Alright, so let's do it. This will be a little bit better than last week. So we do have the lane matchups you were mentioning. Nautilus apparently saying he has dial-up with 20 ping. I don't know exactly the state of that. If he does, then I am so sorry. But apparently, he's good enough to be 1600 in League of Legends, which is not that bad. So here we go. We're gonna see, as far as the jungle paths are concerned, or the level 1 action. Looks like BaD and BSU is actually waiting, or coming around the blue buff area. They want to get a good initiate onto Wolves. They're going to walk through there. A ward is actually placed in the bush by Atomic Quail, which is going to scout the entire team for BaD and BSU. And now Now BSU knows what's up. They have perfect vision on BaD and Def, and we may see them make a play here. They have a perfect initiate, and that could be exactly what they're looking for. Now, they do know that BaD and Def is there. They have seen them back off. They know exactly where they are, and it'll be interesting to see if they decide to do anything about this.
It will. I think both teams have a decent initiate here for level 1. It looks like Morgana will go back. I don't know if they know that they're there.
Oh no, this is so smart. They're going to wait until they start the blue buff, and then they're just going to like ambush them from all directions, and that is so smart. Or what they could do is they could catch them as they try to exit down there. So this is going to be extremely bad for them. Somebody's going to go down. You're going to see a flash over the wall from Nautilus. Licensed Potenstar is going to get out of there. The slow coming out from Life the Funeral is actually going to get him pretty low. Auto attacks coming out from Brand. The shield is actually being used there. The flash out, and with the ignite onto Licensed Potenstar, forcing the summoner to heal, but will it be enough? Yes, it will. He's got to get out of there with... Oh my goodness, first blood going down. I couldn't count the ticks between the Brand passive and ignite. It just seemed like it was one long ignite, but man, that's a Blaze passive for Brand is really good. Do pick up first blood, and more importantly, they secure the blue buff for Death of the Party, who's going to go on his normal jungle route, while meanwhile Funky Child is just sitting over here auto-attacking wolves at half health, so it's going to be an extremely slow jungle for him, whereas Warwick is already through an entire half of his jungling route.
And it looks like they switched up lanes with mid being Malphite and Pantheon, and Brand and Morgana will go at it top lane. So
and that's actually pretty interesting to see, and that's part of BSU's, not BSU, part of BaD and Def's strategy was like, hey, we're going to switch up the lanes, but because they had a little bit of a slower start in that skirmish around the blue buff area, it didn't really cost BSU any sort of time in switching their lanes. They just went straight there and were able to pick that up.
And I believe that Ignite lasted so long because there was 2 thrown out on top of Alistar there. That's why that Ignite seemed a little bit longer than normal, because Malphite flashed and ignited is what happened.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right. And then Brand followed up with the same thing. So yes. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Oh man, but check out Nautilus. He's super low, having to chug every single one of his potions. He actually started boots this time around and only has 37 armor. So usually if you go like a lot more armor, you can get it up to 47. Here comes in the first gank of the game. We're going to see Death of the Party go up behind I'm the BSU. A little bit of either lag or Morgana just kind of hanging out there. But Death of the Party actually not really committed to that. That's pretty surprising to see. I definitely would have thought that Warwick would have gone a little bit harder in on I'm the BSU, but as is, just forced the health potion, and that's not really going to affect Morgana's lane because she was able to pick up an extra one when she went to lane, so started with boots and 4.
Yeah, definitely coming out. Warwick seemed to be a popular pick here in Utah, as we've seen over the past 5 weeks really. Almost every game we have cast has had a Warwick in it, and all been played very well. Usually not very good games until around level 6. As we saw there, Morgana was able to get away rather easily as Brand missed the stun. And bottom lane, Corki having to make an early back. Janna is forced to fend off Graves and Alistar by herself. I do not believe Alistar and Graves know that he had to go back, and Corki did make it back in time, picking up a Doran's Blade with the slight nerf on Doran's Blade. Not sure, I haven't really played a lot yet myself bottom lane with I usually run a dual Doran's Blade, and a gank coming air mid lane on Pantheon. Warwick able to escape with the stun on Warwick.
Yeah, and a perfect counter gank there from Funky Child. Well, almost perfect. If he had hit that hook, that would have been really, really bad. Warwick would have been brought down way below, half health, and could have blown his flash. Actually, his flash was not up, so that could have been really bad for Death of the Party, but did a really good job getting out of there alive. And a perfect micro situation from Hashishin. Didn't actually take hardly any damage because had a block up that blocked the initial assault from Warwick, and then was able to jump Warwick and that regens the block shield passive there for Pantheon, and so blocks 2 attacks in rapid succession. So effective. Speaking of so effective, bottom lane.
So, I missed it too. Corki was just able, while Alistar was placing his ward up by the dragon, Corki was able to just get out a lot of damage. He Valkyried in on Graves, popped the Gatling gun, and just phosphorus bombed him and threw out the ignite, and was able to... The ignite is actually what killed Graves, so... Right now, 2-0 lead for Basement State University. Pretty solid so far. That early ward proving to pay for itself, really.
Yeah, that just goes to show you the conversion rate on wards. Like, people don't buy them because they're like, oh my goodness, they cut into my build and they just like cost so much money. I'm like, no, it's 75 gold that saves lives and gets you 300 periodically. So spamming wards is one of the best things you can do, especially if you play support. But I mean, it's not just the support's job. A lot of people, complain, oh my goodness, my support is spamming wards. Well, it's probably a good idea for just about everyone too. That's definitely something you have to work out amongst your team. And so far, really good job by BSU at using the warding. Actually, Funky Child dropping down dangerously low during his jungle route. Really, really close there. It's probably just gonna have to go back. We'll pick up a Philosopher's Stone if he has enough money. Actually, I think he's short a little bit. I think he needs 620. So actually, no, he started Regen Pendant instead of Fairy Charm. So he'll be able to pick that up, pick up some wards. But mid lane, it looks like there's a lot of damage going on to Hashishin as Life of the Funeral starts to get the upper hand there. Bottom lane, once again, you see Cats and Doug going in for another kill. This time, it is on Alistar. Mid lane, oh my goodness, so much action all over the place. That advantage that Life of the Funeral was having solidified by just hitting a perfect ult and dropping Pantheon there middle lane. So a lot of action going on all over the place. Life of the Funeral actually going to come over and grab Blue Buff. And it's really interesting. They're running a double AP strat, but they're putting Brand top, which I've never seen before. And Malphite can be built AP. You already see him going with double Doran's ring into Chain Death. So they could be keeping their standard, Bruiser top lane in Malphite, but just building him a little bit more AP as far as the mid lane is concerned.
Yeah, for sure. I just noticed that too, as that I noticed a lot of damage being put out on Pantheon. I was wondering how that was possible, but then I saw the 2 Doran's rings and immediately figured out how the damage was coming from.
Well, he also has blues, AP blues and quints in for the 23 plus the additional AP you get from the offense mastery. So starts out with 20 and then gets the percentage increase on there, and it's just really, really effective. He's going to jump right in onto Hashishin, but he's having a hard time even just breaking the shield with Malphite. Goes down there, but it'll be up in another 12 seconds, I believe. So Nautilus is actually coming in mid for another gank. He's going to come around the long way, and I'm not sure if this is really for a gank. He's trying to remain out of sight. Nothing really gankable here except Death of the Party thinks otherwise. He's going to pop out of the brush. He does not. He has a Ghost up. But that's kind of interesting. You see a lot of Warwicks with the Flash. However, this is going to be not very effective as Pantheon just backs off there, and Warwick's not going to get anything done. Bottom lane is kind of being dominated by Corki right now. You see Licensed Clone Star and Officer Naughty having to back way out. There's the gank. Middle lane, Hashishin flashing out of there, but will he still be able to get the kill? Oh my goodness, he tries to get the stun off under turret, but goes down to the Seismic Shard there. From, actually no, his Brutal Strike. He picked up the last kill with an AoE, and then the Q coming out from Warwick. Just a really good job extending just far enough into turret range to pick up the kill on to Pantheon. So it's going to make it 0-5, and just little by little we're seeing a lot of a sizable lead come out here for BSU.
And Corki again bottom jumping on top of Graves with the Valkyrie, but Graves will get away. But Malphite coming from
in here. Gets headbutted actually towards Officer Naughty, knocked up. Will Graves actually go down? Yes, Graves goes down, but they do trade 1-for-1. Shut down. Man, I love the new art for shutdown, and that will be a shutdown of the killing spree from Life of the Funeral, and that was definitely a good call there for BaD and Def just because they traded 1 for 1, but they got the spree bonus and assist. So that's a really good trade for them to get back in the game. You can see already about a 2,000 gold advantage here for BSU, but they are still behind by a little bit, especially like at 12 minutes. The gold lead that you have really just gets you up to your first big item, which you should have around 15. Looks like there's going to be a lot of action going on middle lane. Captain Doug going on a killing spree, but now Funky Child is coming in here, actually misses his hook, and now he's going to have to retreat back to the safety of his turret. And if that hook had hit Janna, you might have seen a death there for Atomic Whale. But meanwhile, top lane, there's a lot of damage going down. Morgana will get dropped there. Excellent ult there from Death of the Party. Surprise Morgana with a lane gank. Jumped on her before her black shield was up, and then that was not enough to stop the burst from Brand, as she was suppressed during the entirety of that gank. So really good job by Warwick, making that jungle Warwick work.
Yes, he is, especially with that ult coming out. Right now, Corky with a 3-0 advantage over Graves, who is 0-2 with only 56 CS. Corky having 82. Malphite doing quite a substantial workload himself with 4 kills, only 1 death, and 72 CS. So I'm not sure what kind of build Malphite has going on right now. He just picked up that Giant's belt, so really not sure.
It's going to be first dragon of the game here for Death of the Party, live at the funeral. Captain Dunk, Zuli coming all the way down from top lane. Actually, just BaD, and they will pick up the first dragon. I love the new animation. Here's actually I'm the best, yo. Wandering a little bit too far into the enemy jungle. Dora the Explorer status will be forced to flash out of there, and it's really significant because she could have just walked out of there with the black shield, but she was really worried about the Malphite ult. She kind of saw that one coming and was like, I don't really want to deal with this. I feel like she was still in range if he really wanted to commit, but one of the things you have to worry about with the Malphite ult is you don't want to get too far ahead. Here it's going to come out. The headbutt out from Alistar. He's going to try to get Graves out of their safety. Will it be enough? No. Graves just absolutely crushed. Licensed Postar could be the next to fall. Used his ult already. Corky Valkyrie over. Still taking turret, however. And a double kill there coming out for Corky-sama.
Funky Child coming down a little too late to the party. He will go down as well to Warwick. Not sure if he should have went down there with being 4 versus 1, and he was only at half health. And, well, he paid the price, really, instantly going down.
Yeah, and that price will result in an 11-1 lead at 15 minutes here. And if BaD and Def doesn't stem the tide of their massive speed, it's definitely going to be a pretty easy decision once 20 minutes rolls around. Now, they do have the possibility to still make something happen. Morgana has a lot of utility with her her ult, the Soul Shackles, once team fights roll around. So they're losing laning phase pretty hard bottom lane. Top lane's not going too badly. You can see this Life of the Funeral has oscillated up there with Hashishin, and so lane's looking a little bit more normal now, but definitely still way in the favor of BSU.
Yeah, for sure. Something rather surprising, actually, to myself, that I thought it would be a little bit closer than this early. Both teams being well prepared for the situation, but it looks like the strategy of going with an AP Malphite early has paid off, and Corky is just doing a really good job bottom lane. Already has that Infinity Edge, so he will start to hit really hard, especially with those crits. And it looks like Pantheon will...
the gank top lane. Pantheon's dropping in. He's going to get the gank off onto Life of the Funeral. He still has his stun. He saved that part of his combo. He's going to get vision in at the brush. Meanwhile, bottom lane Captain Dunk picking up a kill, but will the Ignite over the wall, and the Spear picking up the kill for Hashishin top lane. It looks like Captain Dunk is extremely low, but it's going to be able to get out of there alive. It's going to be 2 down for BaD and BSU, and they just cannot stop dying bottom lane. I mean, seriously, if they were just not there at all, that would be one way to deal with it. But Corki has an infinity edge at 15 minutes, along with Berserker Greaves. There's nothing that Graves can do about that. You can't build like Wriggles to make up for that. You can't build anything against it. The only thing he has is double Dorans, which is not as effective as it used to be, and a pickaxe. So Graves is not a factor right now. And once teamfights roll around, sure, Morgana can be big. The ult from Nautilus could be huge, also QW from Alistar, but you just have no damage, and that's really what you need against such a high damage team with such a lot of CC to sit in front of it.
Agreed. Right now, Corki has a 3K lead right now on Graves, so that proving to be a substantial lead bottom lane. And bottom tower is down for BaD and BSU, but top tower is down for BSU, so really a 1-to-1 tower trade. But the gold score right now at a 4K gold difference at 16 minutes is quite substantial. We have seen BaD and BSU come back before. Not sure if they'll be able to do it this time around, being down, but we are still early in the game.
Yeah, Flash is forced out there by Brand. Hashishun actually getting jumped by Warwick. Could go down here. The ult from Brand crushes Hashishun, and then we'll go through a couple other members, 3 to be exact, for BaD and BSU. They are going to be 1 man down as a 5-man push from BSU on to the mid turret starts to solidify. They're kind of backing off. They don't really want to go for this without minions. They have a wave coming up here as Corki just continues to farm, clear out the blue minions. And then once this purple wave pushes onto the turret here, I'm not sure there's a whole lot that BSU can't do. They're going to be able to go in there. There's the ult from Malphite. Frame rate is dropping, but Licensed Cone Star will he go down? Yes, finally drops there to death of the party. And Live as Pino getting out, tanking the turret. That's going to be 2 down there, as well as Hashishun, who died a little bit earlier. Was about in range of his ult, so if that team fight had lingered, he would have been able to come in there. But really good trade there. 2 and 16 actually is now the score. Zuli dropping super low and managing to still get out of there alive. So really good play there by Brand, but I don't know, man. It's starting to get to that 20-minute mark. 2 to 16 is not where you want to be once that rolls around.
Definitely. I've been on the opposite end of that before myself, being down 2 to 16, and it usually doesn't end up well. Sometimes you can make a little bit of a comeback here mid-game, but not sure how well it's going to do with Graves being so far behind right now. 0 and 5 with only 87 CS, and Corki with 140 CS with 6 kills. So AD is going to be a substantial difference here at the end. Not sure how well Graves will be able to hold up. He is going to have to do some farming somewhere at some time to be able to get back into it.
Yeah, but I mean, the people that need the farm kind of have it. I mean, Morgana's at 156. She has the most farm in the game right now, so she's definitely still a threat. She has her Zhonya's Hourglass, which is really going to be significant in the next team fight. However, she could get caught out here. Black Shield's in time, so does not get stunned, also dodging that. Now, Death of the Party is here as well. Black Shield is on cooldown, so Warwick could get an initiate off onto Morgana, especially when you combine that with a Brandstone. There's not a whole lot that you can do once you get suppressed. Now, there's a lot of ways to take Warwick out of his ult, a lot of extra CC, but Morgana just can't seem to land those Dark Bindings. If that could have hit. Here comes in the ult from Malphite. There goes it, stacked with the Brand ult. So much damage, and instantaneous Zhonya's there from I'm the BSU. Actually lands the Dark Binding right before dying. Hashishun may make it out of there alive. No, finally dropping down there, and now Captain Junk picks up the kill there onto Alistar, and they are still chasing Funky Child. The Warwick ult is down, so he's going to be able to make it out, but the rest of BSU is just going to go straight to Baron after a really good team fight. They did exactly what they had to do. A lot of people got out of I'm the BSU's ult and just really made her a non-factor. Zhonya's a little bit early and then was not able to keep everybody within her ult, and now this is going to be the first Baron of the game here for Basin State University.
Yeah, first Baron coming out here at 2030, around there, I guess. Not doing as much damage as I anticipated, but Definitely going to be a huge factor. Right now, almost a 10K gold lead. At 20 minutes, that is substantial. Very hard to come back from. I believe 10K is said to be one of the moments where most people do not come back from. Corky almost getting caught out right there.
Yeah, he just backed off there. He's a little bit overextended doing the farms, but Valkyrie out, and it was K, kind of like a gangplank orange. So he's going to be alright there with Janice to support for any sort of peel that they need. She doesn't have Shirelia's yet, and actually goes triple GP5, which is a little bit greedy by support standards. But it does allow her to buy as many oracles as she wants, and right now she can probably do whatever she wants. There's tons of gold coming in there, and so she's going to be able to do a really good job getting items like, looks like Aegis could be the next pickup, as well as the Shirelia's, both of which could be in the cards, along with some 2-speed, though. You don't see a lot of Janna's rush 2-speeds that often, just because you do get the extra move speed from your the passive from your W.
Yeah, for sure. Just a reminder, too. 30-minute mark, they would get 3 points instead of the original 2 for just a normal win. So I don't know if they're going to take that into consideration here and make a push mid while they have Baron buff to try and get those 3 points. Over right now, BaD and Def is one of our undefeated teams, so that would be quite the upset if they were able to pull off a 30-minute win to one of the undefeated teams. Really, BSU really needing the 3 points to get back into top tier of the standings.
Yeah, what could definitely put them, well in that direction is this next team fight. Live at the Funeral getting snared there, but you just see exactly how little damage BaD and Def does right now. I'm really surprised. To me, they were the favorites. They've done really well. They are undefeated so far in this tournament, and it does not look like they have anything to say to Basement State right now. It's just like watching, pros versus the bros, essentially. They're going to be able to focus here onto the middle turret. Man, Licensed Homestar takes a massive crit from Corky, and it gets dropped down there to a 10% health, forced to ult, and then get out of there. He's going to get shrunk, have to go back and heal, and that means that this next wave of purple minions could mean the first base turret of the game. I just don't see any way that they can stop Corky. If they jib Corky, that's going to be a lot of their worries out of the way. Live at the Funeral actually taking turret right there. They're actually going to catch Death at the party. Going to pull him in there. Don't quite stack their CC, but Live at the Funeral could get jipped here. He's going to go down. The brand ult is out, bouncing between I'm the Best Yo and Officer Naughty, forcing them to back out, and that's one down. And a really good initiate there. Great job focusing CCs. They do manage to take Live at the Funeral out, and that's going to stop the push. That's basically going to make this Baron pretty worthless, as it only has about another 30 seconds left.
Yeah, very much so. I thought for sure they would get that, but Live at the Funeral getting caught there and immediately burst down by the 4 remaining members of BaD and Def, who were just kind of waiting there, waiting for somebody to overextend a little bit, and they just popped all of their crowd control skills and were able to just stun lock him and be able to burst him down all in one shot.
Yeah, I mean, let's still keep this into perspective. It's still 3-20, and you still have an 8-0 Corky with Infedge Trinity Force versus an 0-6 Graves who doesn't have an item yet. So there's still a large disparity between the teams. However, you did see a lot of CC stacking. CC and AoE are both two of the things that make up comebacks. Like, it's when you stack those, it's when you catch people in like a really good brand ult or a really good Malphite ult, both of whom, however, are on the team with 20 kills. I mean, for BaD and Def, what they really want to do is they have a lot of single targets CC, so if they drop the single targets on different targets to make way for I'm the Best Yo result, that could get them something done. Alternatively, they could do what they just did, focus their CCs, take somebody out of the fight, and then make it a 4v5. So we'll see what they opt for. Right now, they're just going to go for somewhat of a base trade. They're going to trade top turret for a mid turret, but you really can't out-push BSU right now. They're going to try. They're making it, they're close to being able to do it, but they're just really nowhere near. Ghosts are being popped here for BSU. They're going straight for the middle turret. They have one less tower to go through than BaD and Def. BaD and Def will be forced to recall, and actually a Funky Child not making it back in time. That's going to be the turret, that's going to be the inhibitor, and Basement State could have just made the decision that will win them this game. They are able to get the first inhibitor before Licensed Pwn Star and Hashishun can get back to do anything about it. Captain Dunk just, Valkyring over the wall, actually forced to take a few turret shots before he goes back, so that means that Corky will be forced to go back here after the push. If he doesn't, he's going to be really vulnerable. And that's, oh man, Morgana wasting a dark fighting. There comes in the ult from Live to Zero. Pantheon Sun is dropped. Malphite ult used to initiate, but afterwards, I'm the best ult not very effective. The shutdown coming out from Nautilus, but afterwards we will see only one down for only one down for Basement State, and they will have taken down two. Will Funky Child fall? Dodges the dark binding, running towards the mid turret. It is not there. The Q comes out from Death of the Party to take down the Nautilus. So Funky Child going down there. I'm the Best, however, did make it out alive with just under 200 HP, so a good job by her getting out. Officer Naughty, however, not really a factor. He was up, taking the bottom turret. It was 4 versus 5, and that's exactly what you did not want to have happen. Finally gets his Infinity Edge. He's so far behind Corky right now, it really doesn't matter.
Very true. Just Graves trying to get caught back up and farm. Really hard, going to be hard to do that when you're down 0-6 to an 8-1 Corky. Corky has his Infinity Edge, Triforce, and it looks like a Vampiric Scepter and an attack speed dagger. So quite a substantial lead for Corky right now on AD, which is usually who is the ones that are carrying you through that late game. That is why they are so farm heavy. But right now, the AD advantage going to BSU, and we'll see. Not sure what is going to go on. Ping's going down at Baron for BSU, so they're going to go and clear all the wards, I assume, and set up for a Baron, which could be the final team fight if BaD and Def joins them. But they will go back.
Yeah, right now it doesn't look like BaD and Def will be able to be defeated before 30 minutes goes down. But at the same time, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do anything to contest Basement State's second Baron of the game. Malphite right now is up at around 3,000 health as the fourth pot pops, and with, I believe, double buffs, actually, just has blue. That is going to be a really big problem for BaD and Def to deal with. He's just so beefy. He can go in there, do tons of damage, has almost 100 AP with only double Doran, so that's pretty significant. He's getting 70 AP from, I believe it's from Woda, is that what it's from? No, he's just got that from Masteries and Baron buff, giving him 40. So 40 plus the 30 from Doran's gives you 70, and then he gets 30 for from the percentage of offense. So he's got a really, really strong build going for him. And he's just going to be the tank initiator. He's running in there, taking the initial burst, and it's going to be way too much for BaD and Def to deal with. They're going to push in onto the second inhibitor. Licensed Pwn Star getting the knockup, but then forced to just back out as there's no follow-up from the rest of the team. Looks like Funky Child trying to initiate Live at the Party, actually getting chunked down below half health. He gets picked off again. That's really going to push them out of the base. Wants to use his ult, has Brutal Strikes engaged, and could we see an initiate here? Super Minions are pushing onto the Nexus turret. The ult is actually used there by Nautilus onto Corky. Valkyrie's away. He's going to be out, but Officer Naughty gets chunked, and the Brando will pick him off right before he makes it back to the Summoner platform. Ult being used by Death of the Party. Hashishun will be the next to fall. Ult being used by I'm the Best, but nobody getting caught by Morgana. An excellent ult to heal up the rest of the team there by Atomic Quail. Nautilus falls, Licensed Pwn Star goes in for the last-ditch effort. I'm the Best, taken out first, and then finally, Alistar's focus, will he actually go down before the Nexus? Yes, he will. That's the ace scored by Corky, and the game.
29-57.
Oh my goodness, you're kidding me.
No, I'm not joking. That's
no
what it said.
No way. 3 seconds away from saving themselves a point, and Nexus goes down.
30:06 is the official game time. So.
Oh really? Oh man, so close.
I'm getting messages already. Give me the points. 6 seconds away from one more point. Incredible.
Man, that is extremely rough. I mean, you could have focused that a little faster. Maybe they could have sacrificed a lot just to take down the Nexus, but I don't know. It's so close, man. That is ridiculous.
That is. That was. We're gonna have to go with the 30:06 since that is the official time on the final screen. Oh, all kinds of messages rolling in. I have to go with the official time here up at the top for everybody that's listening. The Nexus did say 29:57, but as we have seen in past, we have to go by the ending time on the final screen. We can't go and have everybody watch everybody's replays to see what time they got, which is a shame, but that's the nature of the beast, I guess. So
yeah, it is rough, but I mean, if you give it to somebody who gets 30:06 and then somebody comes along and gets like a 29:59, it kind of diminishes the effort and the work that they put in just to make it happen beforehand. I mean, it sucks to not get the extra point when it's 30:06, but at the same time, I mean, you got to stop somewhere.
Exactly. Yep. Got to stick to the rules. Got to do what we've done in the past. So sorry to let's see BSU for that, but.
Alternatively, I mean, it's still a really strong accomplishment taking out an undefeated team and not only costing them the points that they would have gotten, but picking up 2 for yourself. Whereas initially going into this, you might have counted that out already. So they do pick up 2 points and the win over one of the strongest teams. This is formerly. BaD and BSU is formerly known as Team Jedi Riot, and they did place 2nd place in the last season's finals, so definitely one of the strongest contenders in the tournament, and picking up a win over there is pretty good in my book.
Yep, very much so. Very good game, though, even though it seemed rather lopsided. I think it was well played by BSU there. Really making a name for themselves, showing that they can hang with the big dogs, and essentially taking out one of the top teams here in Week 5.
All right, well, thanks to everybody for watching. I know I threw this out on Twitter and Facebook, and it looks like right now we have, well, it still says 8 viewers for me. Do you have a different count?
I have 29 viewers.
Oh, man, dude.
So that is a weekly high for my stream. I don't know about anyone else. But so a lot of people watching that game, which is a good thing. I'm glad to see that we are growing and getting a lot more people watching. So
yeah, well, Voldemort has been streaming this entire time, so Scumbag Dyrus taking the views from everybody else. But to the 30 people that took time out of their busy Dyrus watching schedule to head over our way, thanks for stopping by. I'm actually getting an update that it is actually 30 right now, so that's pretty awesome. I think it's been pretty cool to cast these games. Thanks for inviting me, and unless you have anything else to say, I think I'm going to head out.
No, thanks for coming. Another week in the books. I really appreciate you coming out, teaching me the ways of this.
Well, I don't know. It's been nice to cast, and some good games, definitely. So,
yeah, really good games. Hopefully we'll have you here again next week. Same time, same channel, same everything.
Awesome. Well, speaking of same channel, right before I go, I do want to mention... oh, wow, I thought you were still talking because you were saying exactly what you said before, but I had the stream on in the background, so it sounded like you were... I was like, wait, why is he saying that again? I wanted to... And you kept, interrupting me, but you weren't... Oh, my goodness. Okay, so... All right, shenanigans aside, if anybody wants to go check out some of my stuff and or tell all their friends to, make me super popular and make me feel like I actually have friends, you can go and check me out on Twitter. It's twitter.com/rapidtransit247. I cast for a lot of the top North American teams and do scrims between random teams you've never heard of. They're still hella good, And so definitely go check that out. I also do a lot of Go for Lols. I've done GG Classic and IPL stuff before. So stop by Twitter at RapidTrans247. If you want to follow me on Facebook, if you're not really that Twitter kind of person, it's facebook.com/rapidcasting. Just spell it out like it sounds. And speaking of spelling things out like it sounds, all my stuff goes up on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/rapidtransit247, but it is not spelled like it sounds. There's a 1 for the I in transit, so it's rapid TRANS1T247. Hella shenanigans there, but if you guys can find it, then shout outs to you, and thanks for watching, and thanks to Zubu here for letting me join you guys, and hopefully I'll see you back here along with him next week for week 6 of Utah League of Legends battles.
Yeah, thanks very much. We will be broadcasting our admin game on Slice Your Dead's channel, so if anybody wants to catch that, it is quite fun and hilarious. We do all random, normal game. Really fun to watch. Fun to hear us basically talk trash to each other. We all get in one Skype channel. It's rather entertaining. If you do not get into it, you can come watch. That will be on Slice Your Dead's channel. If you're unaware of that, it's on our Facebook page. Just look that up at Utah League of Legends Battles, and you'll find the link there. Once again, thanks to everyone. We will be back next week. Not sure who will be casting. Check Facebook for the game we will be featuring. And thanks for everybody for watching, and this video will be posted to YouTube sometime tomorrow, and you can watch it again there. Great game, some interesting strategies coming out, so make sure you watch that, and thanks everybody.